My Lord, the Chief Justice, on behalf of the Law Society of Kenya, and on my own behalf, I take this opportunity to welcome into membership of the Law Society the newly admitted advocates and offer my congratulations to all of you on becoming members of this most honorable profession. This ceremony recognizes the several years of rigorous study of law, the hard work and the sacrifices that all of you have made. And we want to acknowledge and appreciate all those who have contributed in one way or the other to your achievement. Can we give them a round of applause? So I want you to make no mistake about this. Today is a life-changing moment for all of you. By the pronouncements that the Chief Justice has made, your status has now changed. You now belong to the land of the law. Ladies and gentlemen, the world over, it is the commitment by lawyers to their professional duty that keeps order over anarchy. And in order to discharge this duty, we must all aspire to unimpeachable standards of practice and ethics. And I urge all of you to familiarize yourself with the Law Society of Kenya Code of Ethics and Conduct, live by it, internalize, because that should be your guiding Bible in terms of how you conduct yourself at a professional level. The Vice President did mention that most of you had a lot of vibe and energy when you were in law school. I had no doubt, because she's your teacher. And while I might not know why each and every one of you studied law, I want to impress on all of you to aspire to serve humanity and not material gain. I want to urge you to reflect on the words of Karl Marx in a speech he did titled Reflections of a Young Man on the Choice of a Profession. And he says, "We must therefore seriously examine whether we have been inspired in our choice of a profession. But the chief guide which must direct us in the choice of a profession is the welfare of mankind and our own perfection. Man's nature is so constituted that he can attain his own perfection only on working for the perfection, for the good of his fellow men. History calls those men the greatest who have enabled themselves by working for the common good. If we have chosen the position in life in which we can most of all work for mankind, then no burdens can bow us down, because they are sacrifices for the benefit of all. And then we shall experience no petty, limited, selfish joy, but our happiness will belong to millions. Our deeds will live on quietly, but perpetually at work, and over our ashes will be shed the hot tears of noble people. Newly admitted colleagues, the oath you have taken today should be a guarantee to the world that you are an impartial advocate of justice, an instrument for the defeat of tyranny and the triumph of justice, rather than a technician skilled in the art of legal subtleties for the benefit of a particular client. So I urge all of you to keep on fanning the sacred fire of freedom and justice. Let me remind you that as advocates, we are mere custodians of a sacred duty that we have received on trust, conferred on us by generations long gone, and held by us for the benefit of generations yet unborn and for centuries to come. So therefore we cannot, we must not betray that trust. Our aspiration to the highest standard of ethics and practice must be individual and collective. Clients and employers will be demanding, and you will discover that this can be a very stressful job and career. And so the support of your peers and those you get admitted with today, and those that you will meet in your various places of work, will be invaluable. So I urge all of you to learn to be a decent human being. Participate as much as you can in the activities of the societies. Volunteer to sit in bar bench and CUC meetings so that you can get to understand the workings of the law and build your networks across the different stakeholders that exist within the legal profession. If you go to the branches, participate in the branches. Volunteer to give free legal advice as you build your networks and as you gain experience and exposure. I must say at this point that because you get into this profession at a time when the Law Society is going into its politics, and the various candidates will be coming to you for election, I urge you to participate in the elections of the Law Society, but do so decently, do so respectfully, in your tweets, in your comments on social media. Portray yourself in the manner in which you would want your clients to see you, because your deeds, your words will constitute part of how people will perceive you. So if you make harsh and offensive comments, people will think you are that person, even though you are doing it perhaps just for the benefit of getting likes. And what are they again? On social media you get likes and what? And retweets, yeah? Yeah. So it is essential that you secure and maintain that all-important trust that the public must have in our profession. You will have your clients place their trust, their finances, and their liberty in your hands. That trust is an honor, very difficult to earn, and yet so easily lost. So do everything possible never to lose that trust. In joining the legal profession, you will be called upon to deliver fearless advice, to speak out on cases of injustice, or to advance or defend positions that are true to the law but may be unpopular. While these obligations may seem a burden, they are in fact exceptional privileges and part of our duty to society as advocates. Indeed, I want to submit to you that there is no greater honor than to bear this exceptionally heavy burden. And so the law is constantly evolving, and you need to constantly learn new things, constantly hone your skills. The law is dynamic, and so is the professional practice environment. So therefore, To remain relevant and competitive, you too must evolve, must improve, and so do not presume that all the hard work ends today. In fact, the hard work begins today. There is so much to learn from the experience of those who have been longer in this profession, and it is a process that never ends. Relentlessly seek new and relevant skills to give you that competitive edge over your colleague. And remember what the Vice President has said, there are new and emerging areas, and you have the benefit of recent learning. Let me tell you one truth I learned on the day of my admission over 18 years ago. Does it look like 18 years ago? Does it? I look just as young, Cindy. You know you need to learn how to compliment your president. That is how you you gain the favor of the Law Society. Eh? This is a profession of persuading people. But the one lesson that I learned and that I've kept to date is that your reputation is all you have. Times will come, you will make money. There are times when you will not make money. But I can assure you, if you have no reputation and you are at the lowest of your moments, you will never be able to come back up. But if you have reputation as a diligent lawyer, your plate will always be full. It will never lack. So consider yourself your own personal brand. Grow your reputation carefully, very, very carefully, and protect it with your life. This is where excellence and the highest standards of ethical practice will help you. I must tell you this because bad stuff tends to follow you around. So avoid any conduct or practice that risks your reputation. It is simply not worth it. I urge all of you to, as much as possible, find a mentor to guide you on the common side of life. There are things that we have learned through this profession that you don't need to make. There are mistakes we have made. You don't need to make those mistakes. Try and seek us out and learn from the mistakes that we made so that you can avoid them and you can become a better person. I want to just remind you that the legal profession is what I would call a jealous lover. It is demanding of attention and tender loving care. But I want you to remember that this jealous lover is not you, and neither is it your family. So it is not all stress and high standards. The law, you will realize, affects all facets of our life, and it will allow you to work in your work to find humor and express creativity. It is important, therefore, to find balance in your life and to nurture your support system. They will be there for you when times get rough, as they surely will. From the different parts of your life's journey, different homes, backgrounds, and in some cases, countries, you will now embark on your goals and career path for the years ahead, as unique and as diverse as you are individually. The administration of justice will only benefit from the experience and perspectives that you bring. My brothers and sisters, let me end by congratulating you once again on your admission and wishing you the very, very best as you embark on what I hope would be a long and fulfilling career in the law. Welcome to the profession and welcome to the Law Society of Kenya. Thank you. May I just take a minute to recognize Mr. Mwaura Kabata, Mr.